Hi.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, Nadiia.
Yes, hello.
Hi. Hold on just a moment. Let me get you on with Mark, okay?
Yes, perfect.
Thank you. We're sanctioning the Putin daughters, going deeper among the oligarchs, and yet Putin, we're told, in fact, the White House said today that Russia has pulled back out of Kyiv, Ukraine, out of the capital. I mean, that's good news. We'll take any news we can get, but then we see all of this horrible video. I mean, it really is ghastly. And of course, the Russian spin is, oh, that's all set up. The Ukrainians are doing that. Now, that's not to say that every country doesn't have, including ours, doesn't have corruption and what have you. But this is a scale that is just mind-numbing. So it's really disgusting. And yeah, it's war crimes. They keep asking Biden, is it war crimes or not? That's kind of evident and obvious to anybody who has eyeballs. But on one hand, you got Biden at a little speaking engagement somewhere. He's talking to a business group or whatever this morning. And then he's saying, okay, Kyiv is holding, and yay, and the Russians are pulling back out of that, but not other parts around the region. We're hearing now we're sending 100 of these so-called, they're called switchblade drones, which are pretty cool, actually. That's helpful. No air cover, but NATO is looking for any incursions from nearby. But don't assume that means, okay, Putin's backing off now, because what's going on, again, some of this imaging from all around the country there is horrible. It is beyond description. And that's one of those things, you see more of this on television, they don't even warn you. Well, they sort of warn you, like it's going to be ghastly, they don't show everything. But never get to a point where you sort of get used to seeing that. It ought to make you cringe every time. So, Putin's not necessarily pulling back. I mean, thank God he's sparing Kyiv right now and some other parts in Ukraine, but not others. And looking at a story here that Putin's plan is to build an empire stretching from Vladivostok to Portugal. And General Milley, the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, the guy with the giant eyebrows, says the, quote, potential for significant international conflict is increasing. So what is it? Well, in Kyiv, Ukraine right now, our friend Nadiia Vasina is there, and she's a radio host and involved in all sorts of business enterprises and performances. She's also been to the U.S., performing as a gymnast and Cirque du Soleil kind of things. And I noticed, Nadiia, because we had you on here a few days ago, and that was the most emotional it's been. I mean, we all got teary listening to you talking about what was happening. Like it was getting to a point that it sounded like hell was right around the corner. But now, for now, it's looking better, at least where you are. What's it like?
Well, hi. Yes, I'm sorry for that. My previous emotional.
Don't be sorry for it. No, that was raw emotion. We all felt for you there. But what's changed? What's changed so dramatically here in the last few days?
Well, yeah, you already talked about what was happening in the suburb of Kiev. And there is two things which is happening if we're talking about Kiev. So from one side, it's very good that Russian terrorists went from a suburb, from Bucha, Irpin, Gostomel, and some other directions. But from another, there is like misunderstanding of what's going on. Because when you know that there is a fight over there, you know pretty much exactly what's going on and what they're planning to. Right now, there is the problem with the rockets, as it's all month we were living under the rockets. They were flying above our head every day and night, and you just living in the alarm system. Like we have a big schedule of alarm is on and off, on and off. So, and this is a little bit scary. Not a little bit, it is. Because as I told you before, I live in an apartment, and as I live pretty high, I just see everything what's going on over the cliff and in front of me, and you can see sometimes like the rocket is flying straight up in front of your face. So, and it's happening and still happening, and all this night it was again alarms, and we don't know, like at that point we did realize that the Russian terrorists were very close to us, and we've heard like it's bombing was all day and night, and you can see the skies, they are always black and then red and then something, because of these fights in the suburb. And now we understand that mostly rockets are working, flying above Kiev, and this is dangerous and scary. But as you mentioned already, then they're trying to move to other parts of Ukraine, to more to Donetsk area as they were before, because they realize that Kiev is too hard for them. But we also understand that they are liars, and they telling us that they are moving away from Kiev, and they kind of did that. But as you remember, they were telling us that they were practicing, like working out with the troops on the borders of Ukraine, that they're not gonna wait and do invasion, but then they did it. So we never believe in everything what Russian politics says, not politics, Russian terrorists who are in the government. We don't believe them. So we are in shape, and we like trying, like Klitschko, the mayor. People can know Klitschko as a very famous boxer, Klitschko brothers. He's our mayor, and he asked the people from Kiev not to come back at least for 1 week more, because yes, he said it's not safe, please don't come back, please don't come back. But anyways, people are coming back because it's too difficult to live in a different places, not working, and we need to rebuild our economy system and everything. So it looks like this. And the previous time we did talk, it was like, I didn't cry for, I didn't like was in tears for like a month or more. And at that point, it was the whole day I was full of tears. Like every conversation was finishing with the tears. And it was like, you working, and you don't see the finale, and this is the most horrible, when you understand that you have to work like till this point, and then you have a vacation. You're like, okay, let's work hard like for this week, and then we have a vacation. But here, like today is like 41 day two. How many days? 42 days? That 42 days.
Maybe a little more than, yeah. And I'm seeing some reports even now, some Western experts in NATO, and they're saying, hey, this could last for years, and Putin could still, even though right now backing out of your city there, he's active in other places in the country. But the NATO guy says, well, he wants the whole of Ukraine, and he still could take Kiev, and on and on and on. We just don't trust Putin with what he does there. And you're right in the middle of that. Nadiia, Vasina, have you had a chance now to get out of your building there where you are on the 22nd floor and get back into the car and be able to go through town? And I know you're posting on Facebook sometimes some scenes where you've got, the bulletproof vest and you got the helmet on. You're still maybe venturing out. Are you able to do that, or are there still restrictions?
Well, no, we have still restrictions. We have from 9 p.m. we're not allowed to go outside. But when I'm wearing like a helmet and a bulletproof jacket, it's because sometimes we will go into the places with the soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, helping me to do my volunteer job. Sometimes it's very very dangerous, so you have to be protected. For example, like several days ago, I was performing in front of the troops, and they had the vacation, the first days of vacation during these 40 days, and because they were on the front line of Kiev, in Bucha, Irpin, and I did perform in front of them. It's like the honor to me to perform in front of our soldiers. And we were in the places, pretty horrible and dangerous places. But you understand that there is always a risk, and you just, or you okay with this, kind of okay, or not. So the horrible thing that we were like 15 kilometers from the downtown of Kiev, the suburb, like it's the suburb, like big Chicago, big New York, big LA, big SanDiego, or just the downtown, or just the cities around.
Well, I'm glad that for now it's more calm in Kiev, but we don't trust Putin. I know you don't either. You got to stay vigilant, and you will. Nadiia, Vasina, it's just good to hear you in a more upbeat kind of frame of mind and voice, and attitude right now, and we're with you, and keep us posted. We'll talk again soon. All right.
Yeah, thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Stay safe. SanDiego Talk AM 760. Nadiia, Vasina.
Надя Васіна. Було один раз, коли він сказав Надя Васіна. Васіна.
Я первый раз